Welcome everyone, sorry for the little delay, but we are now back with VCS Action Week 4, Day 2. I'm Yulwei, as always, and with me, also as always, every day. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm a little bit confused by what's going on the left side of this
yeah,
champion flag. Uh,
yeah.
what?
To make it clear, this is not the usual lineup for FTV. Rika is in, that's normal, but then Kurko, that's also yeah, decently normal for them. But then
Yeah.
Meocorn now in as a mid laner. He's usually the sub jungler. B is usually the support, now playing ADC it seems. And Tiger back in as a support. Confusing, to say the least.
Hey, I mean, to be fair to FTV, nothing else is working,
yeah,
right? Like, may as well. What do you got to lose? They can't make playoffs. Like, they're 0-6. Playoffs are completely dead in the water. So, bloody hell, run whatever you want. Maybe you pick up a crazy win because champion pools are different. But
yeah.
just looking at the actual champion slate that goes down, Big Coro has gone for that Callista as the priority ADC. Every ADC in the game open, he's taken the Callista, so obviously that's a comfort pick for him.
That's interesting because he has
Lux
not
and
played the
Charm,
Kalista before.
no. We do see quite a few Callista bans in the VCS. It's a very popular champion to ban, not so much to play.
Yeah, I think the only real Kalista main so far has been Jisoo, the ADC for QTV Gaming. He has
Yeah, he
played
loves it.
many Kalista games, but I'm a little bit surprised they want to go for Kalista bot. I think this one is maybe a little bit of an experimental game for Dashing Buffaloes. Look at their jungler. It's also not Meliodas, it's Zhu Hao back in,
Yeah,
the
wow, that's very
support jungler, substitute jungler, I should say. And I guess they want to try another style. Maybe look for a bot lane focused, Kalista focused draft. Go for it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, I think against FTV, the top teams should be experimenting. FTV's looked very, very bad, and especially in game ones, you may as well just kind of try stuff out. If you lose the game one, okay, that's not great for your game score, I guess, but who really cares? You just play your normal stuff in game 2 and 3, and you get the series win anyway. So who really cares? But so far, FTV actually assembling a pretty good draft here.
Look at that last
Picking
ban we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's correct. I think that's absolutely you should ban Rika's Poppy. I love
And you
it.
should, more importantly, after we should pick Rika's Poppy with more of
Ooh,
a priority. Hey, there we go
the
again.
Bears in.
So this is the Kalista. Okay, yeah, Kalista Volibear
That's
was the first time Volibear was played. Actually, I
yep.
think Genji, right? Genji fielded that
That was
bot
Griffin.
lane.
It's
Griffin.
Griffin, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it
someone in
was Griffin.
LCK. Whatever. Some bad LCK team. No, they're not bad.
Oh, yeah. LCK Wildcard region. Yeah, they've actually looked much better recently. Um, after Rift Rivals, LCK has looked really good. But yeah, this volley comes in. That's actually really scary. With Callista Volley can overextend quite hard looking for flips and have the safety of Callista ult. And also, Callista throwing Volley at you, really scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And as a
What is
whole,
going on FTV's side?
yeah, they don't have an
Um,
ADC in their roster. I think they might
Bot lane
slot.
Nico?
Yeah, but Nico
Must be.
Lux. Nico Lux is actually a nice lane to play. I played that lane a few times.
Hmm.
Yeah, why not? I guess
A
B
little bit,
can
little
play
bit
the
gum
Nico as well.
style?
Yeah,
A little bit gum style because maybe B doesn't play ADCs, not
I
an
mean he's
ADC
a
player.
support player, right? So
Exactly. Like,
not a huge surprise. I would
yeah,
actually
I
like to see
guess.
him on the Lux and Tiger on the
Yeah.
Nico. Yeah, there we go.
Apparently, that's what it looks like. And it also, like, I don't like reading too much into summoner spells because they can mean a lot of things, but I think Tiger might farm just based on the fact that he's running TP.
Yeah.
Supports don't run TP.
And look at Kuroko and Meokon again. Meokon, once again, he's listed as the mid laner in this particular draft, but it looks like he will jungle again. Was the same situation last week where Kuroko actually went down in the bottom lane to play Vel'Koz. That was a great game, by the way. They won that one.
Yeah, it's
And
very.
oh, look at the fan vote. That's actually more fans for FTV than I would have expected.
Yeah, exactly. Good on them for picking up that 15%. This should be DBL. DBL should win this 99 times out of 100,
Yeah,
really.
absolutely.
But
Especially
to
as
be
it is
fair,
a best of 3.
yeah, to be fair though, pretty much every time I've said that this is going to be a stomp, we've had an upset. So
Yeah, and
will the
interesting
curse
enough, looking at yesterday's games, both of the teams that were favored fell down. So that trend might continue today. Much more unlikely,
absolutely
though.
possible.
Much more unlikely.
Putting
Oh, are you still
and
with
it's
us?
Rika.
Sorry.
Uh,
One and
going to be a bad time.
yeah, they at least won one game, I guess. Maybe they can extend their game wins against Dashing Buffaloes to 2. And interestingly enough, FTV is actually not the team with the worst win rate in the league. That's Cerberus. Cerberus has only won 2 games, but those 2 games were against FTV, so they won the series, which is why FTV is still the bottom team. Every day? Hello? Oh, there seems to be a little bit of a problem. But we have a pause anyway, so it's not the worst timing ever. I hope my co-caster joins me again. Maybe another internet problem in Australia, as we have a little delay on stage. Seems to be something here on the FTV side. While Juhao back on stage. Sorry for my pronunciation of that name, by the way. I have no idea how to pronounce that one. It looks Chinese to me, but maybe it's Vietnamese. I'm not too certain on that one. Meliodas out. I'm actually not quite sure why they swap Meliodas in and out so often. Maybe he wants that. He's firmly the number 1 jungler of this team. And I think as long as he's not ill, he'll probably play for them in important matches. So maybe giving Joao a little bit of time to learn. I actually don't really understand the motives behind subbing him back in. More stage time is always good for your main player, and all the other players don't get pauses either. So yeah, I will have to see how Joao performs in this game, and maybe Meliodas just asked for a little bit of time off.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, my router decided it didn't like its life, but we've convinced it to keep going.
Yeah, let's pray to the gods that it will hopefully stay alive for the rest of the game.
Hopefully. Looks like VCS might be having just as many issues, so if
Yes, you
I'm
did
saying the
not
right
miss
thing.
anything.
Good to see, good to see. Gotta love it. Little bit of a bad period of time here for the VCS in terms of tech issues.
Yeah, there has been almost something almost every game, right? It's a little bit confusing that they're not able to fix their tech issues at all. Yesterday we had a long delay in the second series. We were here very long. I think it was past 1 a.m. for you and past 11 p.m. in Vietnam. Maybe it was 10 p.m. only, but not quite sure.
Yeah, I think Vietnam is 3 hours behind me, so it would have been 20 past 10.
Long
when
enough,
we wrapped up.
Considering the game
Yeah,
start
it's
at
not
4
very
p.m. That was a long time for the VCS.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep running. Probably our longest day so far. 3 game series and the second one with a big delay. not not too probable today. We're looking at two pretty lopsided series. If the first one gets to start, my guess would be two 30-minute victories for DBL, maybe even a little bit faster. And then on the second series today, we get Cerberus against EVOS. Looking ahead,
I mean, that should be lopsided. That second series definitely should be lopsided, but EVOS has been a little bit inconsistent. So we'll have to see how they actually fare against Cerberus.
yeah, if you look at the last week's performance, I think Cerberus has one more victory than EVOS. To be fair to the EVOS, Cerberus played against FTV, so that's a free win most of the time. And EVOS has looked kind of shaky. They're trying out their new top laner, Coyote. Their bot lane is not looking too great right now. They're in a lot of
Very true.
trouble right now. Sorn
Absolutely.
also way worse than in the first week.
Yeah, Thorn has massively fallen off. We were really impressed by him initially, but in the last few outings, just hasn't looked that impressive.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So
As the spore seems to go on for a little bit longer. Have you seen the hotfix changes for 9.14?
I just opened them. I was about to bring that up. I just saw them. Interesting. I'd love to know what slight actually means because I'm just looking at the.
If you
the
scroll down, I think you can
oh,
see the actual
Yep. I'm
changes.
an idiot. Yep. I'm an idiot. Uh,
What a
it's
surprise! They
definitely.
had to hotfix buff Galio.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's gonna matter. Let's be real. 10 mana and 20 damage at max rank. Not max rank. Sorry, at high levels isn't gonna matter.
I mean, 10
Galio's
mana
dead.
off of Q is not bad. But yeah, I think
No.
Galio's kit is not going anywhere right now.
Yeah.
It's not
Is
great.
mana really an issue? Like, it's part of his issue, but
I,
he's
I,
got a lot of issues.
I think he has an identity crisis. What is he
Yep.
supposed to be in the game? Is he a support? Is he a mid laner? Does is he supposed to deal damage? Is he supposed to be a tank? I think he doesn't really fit any role right now. You can play him
Yeah.
support, but without the flash W, he lost a lot of potency.
I mean, like he's meant to be an anti AP tank, right? That's what his identity is supposed to be. But
But didn't they change it to being more of a full AP anti-mage mage? Because the tank Galio was too strong when it came out after the rework, so they gave him better AP scalings and toned down his
well, see,
base values.
that's kind of exactly the thing. Because like, if you take Galio as a concept, right, then he's meant to be a tank.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if you look at his flavor, he's meant to be like a 20 story tall statue. Definitely meant to be a tank. And then it came out and it was too strong, so they made him into more of a mage. But then they still needed to maintain some of his identity, so he's got a taunt, which is an engage tool, which is something a tank wants. But he's not very tanky, and it's a mess. Flash W is obviously ridiculously strong.
Yeah, especially now
Kind
that
of
they
key.
added damage to the Flash W as well. It actually is quite a significant damage tool in early scheme fights or skirmishes around early objectives. Yeah, I really don't
Yeah,
see Galio going anywhere in the next few months. I think he needs another slight rework to really do anything. I think they should give him the tank role. I liked his tank gameplay when he came out. Okay, he was too strong, so he was a little bit OP. But I like to play him top lane, full tank. He was ridiculous in team fights. I absolutely loved that playstyle.
yeah. I mean, I'd like to see some more strong tanks coming back in. Obviously, we don't necessarily want a full tank meta again. Those can sometimes be a little bit resident sleeper, but um, having some strong tanks in the meta would be very welcome. Because at the moment, tanks are a bit of a fringe.
I think there's only really Poppy viable, right? I think Might
you can
be
play
able to
Scion.
play Cyan in a few matchups, but I have actually not seen a Cyan win. I've seen a few signs, especially from Zoom, the JDG top laner. But did he win a game? I think he lost all the Cyan games he played at Rift Rivals, so not a great look for that champ.
No, I'd have to go back and watch the games to really see if it was because of him. That's sometimes hard to say, but overall, yeah, it's pretty much just Poppy, and even Poppy's more a counter pick
Yeah.
against like the high. I think on 9-14, Poppy will be nuts though.
Yeah, Poppy will murder Aurelius and Camille's.
Yeah.
I think Poppy should get more attention. Not only Rika should play Poppy, I think Taurus, Poppy would really fit Taurus's playstyle. That being said, we don't know if Taurus is actually still playing on 914 because there's a roster change coming up for Flash. So he might not play another game this season with Stark joining Flash as a top laner. Not sure if he will be the starting top, but why would they acquire him? He's probably not too cheap as well as a veteran. So
Yeah.
even then, I
You
think
think?
it would fit Stark as well.
Yep. I mean, I think Poppy is actually a champion that sort of fits multiple playstyles because you can just play her as this like a very very safe laner that just has lots of health and can't really die, but because of how her passive works, you can also brawl in the lane with her. Like you can
Yeah,
take 1v1.
absolutely. Yeah, but they don't
Um,
really want to play around her as a team. Like I don't think she would fit Gam's playstyle because it
oh
doesn't
no
really make
way.
sense to play around Poppy. Poppy is more of a one player wonder, like just sitting in top lane, winning her lane without any attention. She's hard to gank. She's good in many matchups. She's very good in early skirmishes, but you don't want to give her more gold than she needs. I mean, she really doesn't need the most gold, so you want to focus on another point. So it's very good on bot lane focused teams like Slater's team, for example. That's why I thought about Team Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense. I definitely agree that Gum shouldn't be looking at it because Gum needs to have a carry in the top lane to fit their playstyle.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, game 3, where they tried to play an ADC in the bot lane, didn't look good. Still sort of confused as to why they were so worried about Slater's Kai'Sa when he just has so many other picks to be scared of. So
Yeah, that draft was a big mysterium. They lost
absolutely.
to the triple AP top side and gave up the bot lane to secure Kaiser. Then were run over by Slater Straven, who got out of the game with 18 and 2-7. 18-2-7, I think. 18 and 2 was his first two. So yeah, that's a ridiculous scoreline.
Yeah, it was pretty absurd, that Draven that came out. Yeah, that was a very good game. Hopefully we get this game going any minute now. We are just waiting on PC issues apparently, which is not ideal.
Yeah, this has happened a few times now, so I think they really need to look into the PCs they use. Maybe try to get a sponsor for a new PC for more hardware. Seems to be a reoccurring issue here in the VCS, sadly, as we see some PC issues. I'm not even sure
Yep,
how
it is
who the
unfortunate.
PC issues has the PC issues right now. Everyone, just one player. No
You
idea.
would hope it's just one player, because then at least maybe they have a backup PC and can just swap it out.
Yeah.
Um,
There was someone storming to Null's place, so maybe it's Null. Who knows? FTV
maybe.
seems to be a little bit more calm, so probably on the DBL side, but we don't really know, and it doesn't really matter because everyone needs the working PC anyway for the game to
Yeah, it
start.
doesn't. Yeah, exactly. No, no, not going to be anyone playing 4v5. I don't think. Speaking of PCs in esports, I don't know if you saw a post on the Discord the specs for the CS:GO minor PCs. They
Um,
are.
I only
Just, uh,
I didn't want to really read it thoroughly. Yeah, what was going on there?
they're just absolute supercomputers. Like, it's ridiculous. They
No.
would have cost like $8,000 each. It's
What?
ridiculous.
Whoa.
Like I
Okay.
think probably. I mean, I don't really know how much parts cost. They would have been very expensive pieces.
What were
Um,
the specs?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but they were beefy, to say the least. Which is good to see. Star Ladder has a lot of money.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's good. Always what you want. CS:GO obviously has a very different structure to League of Legends. They don't have a league necessarily. It's just individual tournaments. So
Yeah, and
you're gonna
different
have to.
organizers for the different tournaments as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So and then twice a year, Valve picks someone to host a major, which are the most prestigious tournaments, and Star Ladder has this one. Should be fun. It's always a good time. Oh, hello. We've got movement.
Yay. Very
Does this
slick
mean we're going onto the
screens.
rift?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are actually pretty slick graphics.
Yeah.
Quite like them.
I like this. So we're finally in the game, and it's not paused. That's a big achievement already. Let's look back at what we're actually looking at in this game. We have Razor on the Jace, so this lane should go in his favor. That being said, Jace into Rumble. Rumble can most of the time push out the waves just fine and not lose too many turret platings, so should be
Yep.
okay for Rika on his side as well. There could be dives coming in from Juha and Rezo, as we always see with strong top laners and Elise. Tell us about the bot lane.
Yeah,
What do you
absolutely.
expect from this bot lane?
Wow, just throw me under the bus there. What do I expect from a Nico Lux versus a Callista volley bear?
I'm sorry.
I mean, I think Callista should absolutely win this lane. Should come out with the CS lead, but I don't think there's very much kill pressure whatsoever. Obviously, Volibear wants to look for kills, and he can still go for the flash flip, which is you basically can't react to it.
Look
But
at the health bars for B and Tiger. If Palette actually gets access to level 2 early on, the Flash is on top of Tiger and B is not able to react, I think there's a little bit of kill pressure on Tiger. Because,
yeah, actually,
yeah, I played this lane before, I said, not against Kalista and Volibear to be fair, but it really hinges a lot on the performance from the Nico, I'd say, because the Lux with Aftershock is pretty sturdy, she can control the lane, and she can harass, so Lux is not really a point of contention for DBL, but the Nico has to be super careful, because every CC that sticks is dangerous for her. She's not as tanky as the Lux with the Aftershock.
it makes sense. Aftershock, pretty good. Oh, and speaking of which, it does look like exactly
Oh, they
what you
dropped the
said may have
passive.
come in, except no flash though. The passive is popped. This has gone pretty badly here for the DBL bot lane. I'd love to see what actually started that off.
I think they
But
overestimated their level 1 power. They should have waited for level 2, because there's a lot more CC on the Volibear's kit with level 2, with the E extension of
yeah,
flips.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, to be fair to them,
Yeah, but
usually the Hail of Blades Callista wins every 1v1 against all the ADCs, but he's not playing against an ADC. That's why he probably miscalculated his damage.
yeah, I don't know how much scrim time they would have put in against this. Ooh, Kuriko is very far up the lane. The chains land, but Zhuhao makes the call that he's on the wrong side of the lane. There's no follow up there. So
Well, what's actually going on with Kuriko? Why is he playing all the different lanes?
I don't understand. It seems insane to me. Um,
I mean, Camille is
I don't.
kind of a jungle champ, so he probably has a few hours on the champ. Not so much at laning, but yeah,
I mean,
I guess they need to.
I mean,
Victory was their
sure,
best performing member, wasn't he?
Pretty much. Yeah, he was up there for
I
sure.
think Victory and Kuroko probably were the two best members for FTV so far.
I
Outside
agree.
of Rika, Poppy, which was nice as well.
I just don't know why they don't pick it more. It is genuinely first pick worthy for this team. They look so much better when Rika has his Poppy. I don't know who makes the calls for their champion select, but they really need to actually just let Rika play the one champion he's good at.
Yeah.
It does my head in that they're not picking it.
They had an opportunity to pick it up. Ooh, there it is, but on the wrong champion, Palette.
Ooh, there we go. B picked up there. Yeah, I think and Tiger's taking a lot of damage here. Has a few spears in. Here comes Juhao. He might be able to lock this kill down onto B, and he does. Volleyball picks up that first kill. Teleport coming in. I'm aware that I'm a second or so behind, but we're doing our best here. Tiger takes a lot of damage as well. Has to flash out. Good little passage of play there. It does look like the teleport was interrupted as well.
Yeah, that's number 5.
Yep. Now?
Okay. We should be back in sync. But interesting little play there. I expected them to go on Tiger. A little bit confused that they went for the Lux. They had to invest way more resources to get her. Oh!
Ooh, Juhao! That's ugly. That's real ugly.
He missed the E on a stationary target. That's not great. Look for the substitute jungler for DBL. He even flashed for that cocoon.
Yeah, exactly. That was about as badly as that could have gone, but still, they will get the push in here because Palette has roamed up. That volley bear. But this is actually the counter here. The teleport is coming in. What a binding out of B. That's so much damage. Palette should still be able to get away. Never mind with the flash forward from Rika. He burns down.
Interesting counterplay from FTV, seeing the opportunity there with B roaming up and Rika teleporting down as well. Rika gave up a lot of resources though. Oh, not even one plating. Razor is actually pretty slow on the push here. Should be able to pick up at least one plating. Interesting. So very good call from Rika. Not even losing one plating. He's now behind one minion wave, but he got the kill. So fair play to him.
Yep, it has gone for the first item, Arm Guard, as well, which I like to see. Obviously, Zhonya's is pretty great on Rumble regardless. He won't finish that for a while, I imagine, but just going the Seekers into the AD matchup is a good time. Oh, God, that's so obnoxious.
That's Lux.
That's Lux Nico.
Look at the first item from Palette. He goes straight into the MR boots and the Mercury threads.
I think that makes sense.
I think he's very squishy with these boots. I mean, he gets 25 MR, but no HP, and this champ scales of HP pretty good.
Absolutely, but I think he can rely on his passive for at least a little while.
Yeah.
I think just the problem with this Volibear pick he's going to have in this game is that unless he's going to commit his flash or Hex flash out of a bush, he may as well not have a charge because he is just going to get snared 100% of the time.
Yeah, they're also looking at utilizing the ult from Kalista. What's the name again?
Fate's Call?
Yeah, Fate's Call.
Yep, and speaking of which, down in the bot lane, the chop comes in as well as the rend, and B is dead. We did not see the start of that fight.
That's very surprising.
That is the kill picked up for the bot lane. Wonder how that came in.
Yeah, B is struggling. I'm not quite sure what's going on with B. I think he got caught off guard by Palette, probably Hex flashing from the bush. Ignite also was available, but B should not go down. He has Aftershock, and he's a Lux. He should be able to anticipate the engage and Q in time to get the Aftershock triggered and also stun Palette. Interesting that he's struggling this much.
It's a volley bear. If he Hex flashes onto you, you know where he's going to be to throw the Q.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to be in front of you because he's going to flip you over it. So,
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, here we go. So how does this start? Hex Flash.
Wow. B.
How does this end up into a kill? Just B
The,
too far forward. Just a
yeah,
really big
really
mistake.
big mistake. You should
That
never go for anything without your Q available. That is a really big misjudgment. But I
yeah,
really liked
especially
how Palette played this out. Usually you want to, a little bit of volley biomechanics if you're not familiar with the champ. Usually want to Q and then extend the CC with an E so the enemy gets knocked away even farther. But he actually now adapted his play and used his E to slow down B and get in range and then Q'd because with the Q connecting, B was dead anyway, so you didn't need the extra CC on the E. Very interesting
yep.
how Paulette plays out these unique support picks. He has played a
Yeah, I
game of
mean
Sylas
it
support,
shows a bit
so
of practice. Equalizer comes out there, bit of a wave clear ult. I think Rika knows that there's no real kill pressure up in this top lane, so he may as well just use the Equalizer to get a decent wave clear. Make sure the next wave meets in the middle, and it's pretty even up there. Oh,
what?
but no.
What? Why would you do that?
Why would you Jarvan ult a LeBlanc that has her W? That's a bit silly.
Okay, that has to be a miscommunication between. Whoa.
Oh, Kuriko's just dead.
Yeah. I think he's overstayed in lane way too long with 200 HP against LeBlanc, so rightfully getting punished. He's the jungler, so far his laning phase has actually looked pretty great for a jungler. Looking at the CS, he's still even with a LeBlanc against a very good mid laner, maybe the best mid laner in the league. So far,
Absolutely.
Kuroko doing a great job, but yeah, this was
Yeah, he just
just an overextension.
Yep. He got the
Yeah, that
passive
was
shield, but
foolish.
did not matter. Yeah, just greedy there. Unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can come back from that mistake. I think you were about to say that has to just be a miscommunication that Noel had used his W,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
obviously he hadn't because
Yeah, that should
you
never
never
happen in a pro
ever.
play. Yeah, in a pro
No.
environment, I should say. So, still not quite sure why Kuroko and Meokon are playing jungle mid together now. Last time we saw FTV, they played bot lane and jungle.
Yeah.
Absolutely no idea what FTV wants to accomplish with this lineup, especially as Victory actually has looked quite good.
Oh, what a play there by Palette. Interrupting the hook shot. They've just got to hunt Kuroko down now. They should be able to, that W forward should lock this up. Unless he gets to the blast code. No. Palette does take the kill though. And up in the top lane, we've got a little bit of a trade again. They've been doing that constantly though. They really don't
Yeah.
have ability to kill each other.
Rika's doing fine in lane against Rezo, which is a little bit concerning on the side of Rezo, but to be fair to him, Rumble in the 1v1 is not easy to beat. Oh no.
Yeah, and he
Oh,
hasn't
Tiger.
had. That was really ugly.
Tiger has right up a
Tiger.
lot in the CS department. They were actually even on lane and he's down almost 30 CS.
Yeah, it's not great as this lane has was kind of shifting to be a bit more of a 1v1 with the supports roaming. Didn't really work out well for him. Bikoro did sort of stamp his mark on it. Ooh, Nor could be in a bit of trouble here. The Hextech ultimatum is down, as is the Cataclysm. The W's being used, buying a lot of time. Good E out of Zhuhao, and they've turned it around. Mukon picking up that kill with the help of Ryzo, who TP'd in. That was so well played out of Null.
Yeah, nicely done. He's absolutely outplaying the two melee champs that are desperately trying to get on top of him, but he's LeBlanc and he's slipping away all the time. Oh god,
Ooh,
Tiger.
the Hex Splash forward. Tiger's in a lot of trouble here. They had no vision on him channeling, but they picked the wrong one.
Yep. Tiger fooled them and got away.
Yep.
That's
Off he
still two
goes.
solo platings to Big Koro. And look at the gold,
Ooh.
it says finally
Collette's
started to
in a
get...
bit of trouble here, but uses that speed up to get away from the Nico ult that was committed.
Yeah, so far the Volibear play has been very good. We saw Volibear
Yeah.
MVP yesterday, and That was a little bit unwarranted because the Bolivia didn't do anything. This time, Palat much more flashy.
Yep,
Rika is here.
absolutely. And the Rift Herald is summoned, but so is the Rika. But Paulette just gets into his Callista, who flashes away, and they're gone.
Yeah, and in the meantime, ooh, Raids are actually not in time to get more platings because we have hit 14 minutes already. So Razor can't really punish this play from Rika. Once again, good timing from Rika. I'm impressed with his TPs so far in this game.
Yeah.
Even though this one didn't really pay off in terms of kills, they still defended the turret.
Got Bikoro's flash. It got Bikoro's flash as
Yeah,
well, so definitely not fruitless. Rika overall, yeah, I think this is one of his better performances. Obviously, he loses that first turret up in the top lane, but that's what happens when you TP out of lane a few times
yeah.
against a
So now the
Jace.
play is not really worth anymore.
Ooh, Raizo, though,
Nicely
potentially
done.
in some trouble. Nice A, yeah. That was well done. Preventing anything further coming in from Kuriko. Now we have to see where DBL decides to start putting their pressure. Paulette has basically just left the bot lane, which is a
Yeah,
pretty good
he's
decision.
on the hunt now. I'm not he doesn't have his flash available, only Hex Flash, so no immediate play comes to mind. I think he's just waiting for his flash cooldown to look at the pick again. Right now the Volibear can't really do too much, but he's 2-1-1 and looking very strong in this game.
Absolutely. Ooh, look at that gold difference down in the bot lane. That's 1,500 gold
That's
ahead, and
brutal.
it just got extended to 2,000. Big Coro miles ahead of Tiger. Not a particularly good performance so far out of Tiger. He's obviously been a super weird lane, but we've seen that teams like Gum can make this kind of bot lane work, and this isn't working.
Yeah, B has fed a little bit too much. I think he didn't need this second kill certainly was not necessary. This second death, I should say. First one was a gank, so he couldn't really do a whole lot against that one. But the second one was a big mistake for him. Gave the
Absolutely.
bot lane for DBL a big advantage in terms of gold, and now Tiger is struggling to clear out the waves. But
Yep,
yeah, back to
and
your point, I think Tiger also underperformed in lane a little bit in terms of CS. I think he missed way too many.
ooh, there's the engage here from Yokon, a little bit misguided as he takes so much damage, but it might be okay. That
Whoa.
flash forward there from Tiger, as we criticize him, it actually looks pretty good. And they picked up 2 kills here. That was really well done overall.
What a decisive call out of FTV, our bottom tier team showing up here at least in
Ooh,
the teamfight
Cole throws
department. Oh
himself
no,
in.
Neocon.
Oh, Kuriko, that's a very aggressive play. Raizo flashes after him, might put himself in the middle of nowhere. Nor gets locked up as well. The Jace damage is in. Raizo, I don't think you want to go that way, man.
Wait, Razor might be
He's
able
on the
to
run.
turn this one around, at least on Rika. Yeah, they call the
Maybe.
play off.
But he saves a fair bit of health on the tower there, I think. That was pretty well played by Raizo, leading them on the goose chase. But Paulette, I think he got a little bit greedy for a bit of support farm as he tries to flip the ward, but that's not how that works. Not a good look there for the
No.
Volibear.
But we have to get back to the play. I hope we get to see replay because that was some decisive shot calling out of FTV. Kind of surprising looking at their new roster
Absolutely.
here. But look at this again. Meocon immediately calling the engage, gets out of there, actually with a lot of help from Rezo.
Yeah, that was a
Tiger,
huge mistake.
yeah, Tiger and Rika following up. Rika is not even level 11, so usually you want to get the team fight going with your big level 11 power spike on Rumble, but he has now hit level 11. When he cast the ultimate, he was still level 10, so significant damage missing from the fight, and they still win it just because of their assertiveness, their decisiveness. Really nice to see out of
Yep.
F2B.
Ooh, DBL up in the top lane. Ooh, that hook shot interrupted again. Raizo's going to try and hunt down Kuriko and will get him. So that's another kill for the Jace. He's now 2-0, but getting a little bit outperformed here. Never thought I'd say those words by Rika, who's actually got an extra kill.
Yeah. Rika 3-0-1 right now, and very strong double penetration done for the Rumble. So right now, FTV should try to lock DBL and more teamfights, more skirmishes, because they right now have the teamfight advantage on Rika.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, Raizo could be in some trouble here. Equalizer lands, as does Cataclysm. B's here and just misses an easy Q. It doesn't matter in the end. He gets the kill, but B is looking rough.
Yeah, B has played 3 Lux games before, and I don't remember him looking this rough on the Lux.
No.
I wanted the B to go for the Lux in pick and ban because I thought he was more practiced on this, especially on stage. Doesn't look good. His item build is also a head scratcher.
That's a questionable one. Yeah, I'm
I
not sure
hate
how I
everything
feel
about that
about
item
that.
build. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a bit of a lull here, maybe you can talk us through why this redemption first is so bad. But I must say, I do agree. So,
Not only just the redemption, I hate the boots as well. What are you doing with mobility boots on Lux? Especially if the enemy support doesn't have mobility boots. I think you don't need to. You definitely don't need those. You want to have more mobility in fights. As the Lux, you want to reposition in fights, use your abilities, and not slow yourself down with these boots. Don't actually need to roam as much. I'm not a big fan of mobility boots on Enchanter or Mage supports in general.
yep, I do agree overall. I don't mind them as a response to an enemy mobility
Yeah.
boots. Like sometimes if you're going up against like a Rakan or something.
Whoa.
Ooh, Rizo, you're in a lot of trouble here. Rikus, I think he was just sort of dropping that equalizer to hedge against Rizo going the other way, but did make the wrong call. But Rizo nonetheless goes down. Myokon gets a little bit of gold there, which will be lovely to get this tank Jarvan a little bit further going
Yeah.
as he finishes the
And
flavor.
FTV has made many good plays in the last few minutes. They're still behind almost 2k gold, so they're not really able to close the gold gap. But at least they are getting kills and prolonging the game. So the gold gap, even though it stays the same in terms of absolute numbers, percentage-wise, they are getting closer. And yeah, we might have to look at which team is actually favored to win the game in the later team fights. My immediate
Um,
reaction would still be DBL, I think,
yeah,
but they have a
I
very
think
squishy comp.
having an ADC is a pretty big deal, though.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference to things like taking Baron. Obviously, Nico is not terrible at taking Baron or anything like that, but not as proficient as Callista. So I definitely do lean towards DBL,
But
but it's not
with
out of
one
the realms of
caveat,
possibility.
in the next 5-6 minutes, there's a really big team fight advantage for FTV. As long as Rika has still not fallen off, they are actually in the driving seat when it comes to 5v5 team fights right now.
Yep,
So they should
absolutely.
try to look for those. I mean, picks are great, but they want to have a team fight. Sadly for them, the dragon roll has not really worked out for them, and they actually lost the last dragon. So now double mountain on top of Callista for DBL.
Yep, that is once again we should just mention please do give generously to if you donate to the stream, 50% of that does go to the Baron Protection Fund, trying to get rid of Mountain Drakes from the game, as well as Callista, because it's going to be a bad time for that for Baron this time.
Yeah, Baron really doesn't appreciate these Drake false friends spawning there.
Exactly. Yeah, so please do keep Baron in your heart because he'll die in about 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, if everyone
Gives
commits even
DBL.
faster, maybe in a few minutes, we might see something like 8 minutes. I think our record so far on the stream has been 8, 10, 8.
I think it was
Yeah,
about it. I think it was about 8 seconds.
yeah, this
It was
game
very
might be a
fast.
contender. That being said, besides the Kalista, there is actually not the greatest Baron damage. It's not a great mid laner for Baron damage. At least the top laner can contribute. Most of the time you
Yep.
want your Jace to zone though, so might just be the Kalista hitting the Baron, so we might not look at a Baron record speed.
Yep, but it'll still be very, very quick as Nor goes in for the trade in top lane onto Kuriko. Does a fair bit of damage, but it's not going to stick. Now we need to see how FTV can sort of force a play here. Because I don't think DBL's going to, because as you pointed out, with the Rumble in the position of power that he's in, You don't really want to fight. You really don't want to fight in the pit.
Oh wow, Razor I think has to be careful. There is an opportunity for Rika to solo kill him.
Absolutely, and I think look at Palette just taking so much damage from that Nico. That's a bad time, but he will regen up fairly quickly, or just go back. So far, I'm not 100% sure about his build. I think somewhat we do see the punishment of the early Merc treads, which you did point out that he really doesn't have that much HP yet.
Yeah, I think he wants to go for the Righteous Slurry right now, which is very good on this champ. More speed. He will actually not be too tanky. His support Volibear, so
Ooh,
in the
Null.
end, he has to
Has
flash
to
away.
use Flash, but the Cataclysm's out. He's in so much trouble here. All they have to do is make the right call. He has the W to go back to, but what the hell?
There was a lot of chaos, but Big Kuro.
Big Koro does go into the stopwatch. He's alive for now. I don't think they can dive past here. Juhao just turns it.
Yeah, Tiger just gets annihilated there from Juhao. Nice play, but FTV still in the power position, looking at the health bars. Miokon low on mana, so he has to be careful not to miss out on this next combo. Should still be able to contribute a little bit of CC, and FTV win another team fight. Very good catch on Null.
Yeah, absolutely. Picking up that mid lane tower as well is a very big deal. Obviously, mid lane and outer is one of the most important towers on the map. Opens up so much room and rotation, all of that to FTV. So hopefully we can see them use that.
Yeah, look at this play again. Null jumped back and forth and back, and so many times.
Yeah, look at the Camille ult following
Yeah,
it
that
as well.
interaction is
Fun to watch.
interesting.
Yep, Camille she's a knife-legged teleporter apparently because
And how did Tiger just die? He got
he
towered
had
focus,
turret
yeah.
aggro.
Nice cocoon.
That was-
Juhao with a lot of awareness there to drop the cocoon on the right target. 42,000 to 44,000, so it's still a 2k gold difference, but it's not even. It's at 5% right now, not even 5%. So
Baron
that's not a
started
big
here as
goal
well.
difference. Yeah, I really like this play for FTV. They need the enemies to come to them. They need to create teamfight spaces. And fighting around the Baron is not bad. Oh, look at the damage. Juhao actually has to come in.
TP
He
coming
gets
in. And there's the equalizer has been dropped, but Baron's down. This is just a little bit too late. Nor was only just leaving base, and that's 2 kills as well. FTV looking pretty assertive here.
Yeah, they secured the
know
Baron
if
and
I
2 more
like-
kills. This is now the game in the favor of FTV. The gold has swung in their favor as well. So, wow, will we see FTV beating DBL here in the first game?
That would be a sentence we should never say, or never would have predicted we'd say. That was just. I feel like it was a bad call on the teleport there for Ryza because Null was so far away. It was going to be a straight 4v5, and they pick up a Mountain Drake as well. So potentially, if it comes down to a second Baron, it's even faster next time.
Yeah.
And
looking back at what we said about teamfights, we favor DBL's comp a little bit later on because of their consistent DPS. But look at all the tools that FTV have in their arsenal to shape the fight and shape the zonings of fights. Because you have the equalizer. The enemy ADC can't enter anything that's close to the equalizer. Then you have Nico zoning with ult and E. You have Lux providing a lot of CC and damage as well. And then Camille, she's behind, but she can still just jump on Biko or Null and be annoying. So I actually think it's very hard to figure out how to teamfight against FTV's comp. In terms of pure stats, there should be a time where DBL can turn around and have more teamfight damage. That they actually have to think a lot about how to approach teamfights, which threats to ignore, which threats to play around to come out on top in this game here.
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely a much closer game than I think we expected coming in here. This interesting team comp that FTV has decided to go with. It's actually looking pretty good. Every player has sort of performed quite well. Kuriko, I should say, not having the greatest game on the Camille. He's 0-4, but he's got 6 assists, and I don't think we've noticed any really glaring mistakes.
Yeah, and he was picked on. He was camped a little bit in the early game as well, so a few of those
Absolutely.
deaths are more. It's more inflated than you normally would have seen with an equal laning phase. So I still think Kuriko is performing okay. He had a few
Yeah.
mechanical mistakes in the mid lane, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely think he's playing, fine. The rest of his team's playing very well, though, considering their normal level. Myokon throws himself forward, and that's another 2 kills. Raizo and Juhao just vanish.
Where did they go? I thought
They
we didn't
just-
have the Mordekaiser this game, but those two were banished in the Death Realm for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a bit of destruction now. Myokon has played so well on this Java, and his plays have been so decisive, just throwing himself forward when needed. And this could potentially be game, especially if they manage to pick Norl up, who goes into that stopwatch. Big Koro taking so much damage, but he's got the jumps going. He's got those happy feet. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, and they're working on the towers. Are we going to see FTV beating DBL? The health bars are so low. They just need to hit it. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. Oof, that's an ace.
Yeah, we'll get to
FTV
see,
are all
we
dead.
get to see another few minutes. Man, what a banger.
Yeah, this has turned into an absolute treat to watch. Not what we expected. We thought today's games might be a little bit less interesting, a little bit more lopsided. But so far, FTV versus DBL does not disappoint.
Yeah, look at this one again. They want to finish. Obviously, they see the victory in their eyes. They want to get an advantage against one of the best teams, maybe the best team in the league. They overextend on. They can't decide whom to kill. I think they should have tried to get all the damage on Bikoro. In the end, he gets out of there, and everyone dropped down to half HP. Rika also overheating here, can't do anything. A little bit of a mistake on the Rumble. First real mistake we have seen from Rika, so far he has been great this game.
Yeah, he has. My stream's just frozen, so we might just have to resync. Apologies, everyone. Blame the Liberal Party of Australia for that one.
31-30 is where I'll stop.
Yeah. Yep, okay. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Okay, I should be back in sync for the last few minutes of the game. Maybe we'll actually see 10 more. I think FTV... What does FTV look for right now? They have the bot lane inhibitor secured. They could finish the game with 1 or 2 kills. DBL will not give them over too easily.
No, DBL has to play really defensive here. Speaking of which, though, Norl has to use that stopwatch as Myokon goes forward, but Palette's not really the target you want to go for. Takes a fair bit of damage in exchange, and their Kalista ult has been used. Nice defensive Nico ult there from Tiger to defend his jungler as Norl flies forward. The flag and drag's not going to save him, and the stopwatch will not either, but that equalizer in the corridor is doing so much damage onto Big Koro. Down goes Palette. Can they find Norl? Probably not. LeBlanc, a little bit too slippery, but it's a 1-for-1. And a teleport here by Kuriko. That's an absolute brain snap. That's absurd. Maybe he really wanted to bait Raizo forward. If that was his logic, then it's absolutely big brains. Norl goes down, and they're desperately trying to finish here. Big Koro, he's got the spears out. Goes into the GA, though. They've got time to do some damage to the Nexus. He's going to come up, and he's going to go down. Raizo's got it all to do, and he's gone. FTV win game 1 over DBL in an absolute massacre fashion. What a game!
Wow. Did you see that finish coming? Wow.
No.
I am completely shocked. What was going on? Wow, FTV actually saw the window, and as you rightfully alluded to, Kuriko actually, completely delayed Razor's defense. And the other three
I
were strong enough to. It was a 4v4 on the map. I'm still a little bit confused what exactly was going on.
yeah. Uh, very. I mean, I wonder if that was the intention. Um,
You mean the
to
TP
throw
coming out from Kuroko?
the TP. Yeah, I wonder if it
Yeah.
was the intention to bait Rizo forward, or he just really wanted to get into the Nexus fight.
Yeah, I think
If the
it's the
intention
second.
to bait Rizo forward, it's massive big brain.
No, I think it's the
Um,
second, but it worked out for him, so
yeah,
good on him.
absolutely.
Wow, what a finish! That was way more exciting than we anticipated for this first game. And DBL falling down to FTV. FTV has beaten good teams before, at least for one game. They have taken a game off Loki, I think. So,
Yep.
will they finally be able to finish off a series, or once again fall down and run away from the day with nothing, with just one game against DBL? That
I
would be
mean,
very frustrating to watch.
This would be a super huge scalp to take if they could get a 2-0 over DBL.
Yeah, it would not be good for DBL either, because they would tie up with Loki on 5-2 and Flash at 5-2 as well, so they would lose their #1 position in the league. That looked very secure with this last series of round 1 being FTV. But dropping to FTV is not a good sign for DBL, especially after losing against GAM last week on a bit of a downward trajectory.
Yeah, absolutely true. So we're gonna have to see what they can do in game 2. But before we do go, MVP.
I think I have two candidates. I've not decided yet between the two. I'd say Meocon or Rika.
That's what I was thinking. I personally think either of them could get it, but I think Myokon on the Jarvan
I
was
really like
more
Meocon's play as well.
decisive call. Yeah,
Very
I
good.
think that's where I'm leaning.
Yeah, let's give it to Meocon. It can just be a team thing, but I don't think we have seen this decisive a call from FTV before, so might just be
Yeah.
Meocon back in as well. They tried to let him play jungle last week as well, even though Kuroko was the better performing jungler. So this time Kuroko playing mid lane, Meocon once again going jungle and locking down the MVP for us. Rika also had a standout game on the Rumble. First time he shows something very good on a champ that is not named Poppy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna have to see if they can keep that up in game 2. This would be a massive upset if FTV can pick up this win. So give us about 5 minutes and we'll find out.
Yeah, see you in 5 minutes for the conclusion of the first series of Week 4, Day 2.
G'day everybody, welcome back to Game 2 of FTV versus DBL. Not the scoreline we expected, or at least not in the direction, as FTV has actually picked up Game 1 over DBL here. The beginning of an upset, or will it be FTV picking up one win and then losing the series anyway? Again, it'll
That
be
would be
interesting
super
going
unfortunate.
forward. Absolutely. So what do we need to see going into game 2 here is Rika actually picks up the official MVP.
Fair.
Definitely, yep, totally fair. We gave it to Milcom, but we both agreed that Rika was in contention. Had a really good Rumble game, which is good to see out of him. He's had a rough split.
Yeah, very good Rumble ults as well. I like their team fight, a mid-game team fight focused draft. I don't actually think they need to get ahead in lanes. I don't think they have the individual players to do that against DBL. So just pick another very assertive, very decisive, engage with good follow-up, and force team fights around 20 minutes. You can just coin flip actually and try to get the advantage, and maybe it works in one of the next two games, and you get a 2-1 victory. I don't actually think FTV has any right to win this series. They should lose basically every day of the year, but maybe today is different.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe this is just that one day where the sun shines bright and FTV walks away with victory. But we did see that Meliodas is back in. They're not screwing around anymore. They're DBL bringing in their main jungler to try to make sure they don't throw this series away, because this would be a pretty crushing loss
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
terms of standing.
This would be very big for DBL. To lose this one would mean that the top is really open for everyone. With low-key faltering and Flash faltering in the last week, DBL actually had a very easy path back to first place after being beaten by Gum last week. They could go to 6-1 and winning this series, but losing this one would tie them with the other two teams on 5 and 2. And that would be good probably for the league, as we would have a more close race for the playoff spots. But not great for DBL. And DBL is expected to win everything, so they really need to get together and try to win this next one.
Yeah, absolutely. If they get involved, you don't. One of the greatest positions to be in when you're talking about a league's ladder is when you have when you're clear of the pack. You don't want to be caught up in that everyone's tied and it's coming down to game score, little scrimmage, and that. It's much better just to be cleanly ahead.
Yeah.
And DBL it'd be a very bad time for them to potentially get involved in that. Bringing in their main jungler again definitely should shore up maybe some of the synergy, but I don't think Zhuhao had a bad game. I think his Elise actually looked pretty good.
Yeah. It's pretty hard to fall at one or look at one scapegoat for the last game on DBL side. I think Null had a little bit of a weaker performance on the LB. I'm generally not a big fan of Null on LeBlanc, I have to say. I like him on more control styled champs. I like his Nico a lot. His Zoe was very good so far. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe give Null a little bit more teamfight control, a little bit more to consistent DPS, more range. And maybe Bikoro on the Kalista was not a great experiment. I'm not sure. He had an okay game. But why did they go for the Kalista? They wanted to facilitate the Volibear. But it might just be a very good call for DBL to go back to a standard bot lane that has worked for them. Something like Kaiser Yumi, Kaiser Nautilus.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that is absolutely a good point here. They should know a little bit better now what they're up against in the bot lane. They may have been a bit caught off guard by the double mage pick, but they should not be caught off guard in game 2. So we're going to have to see what they do here. I think DBL has done something naughty and loses bans, because the VCS is an absolutely brutal mistress, and it's not just game 1 that you lose your ban if you do something wrong.
Nope.
It's both games. Bloody
Saw that one
harsh.
in the very first series of the week, where both teams actually got punished, and one team had lost one ban, and the other team lost two bans for the whole series, which meant games with only three bans. Very interesting one. You can check that one out on YouTube.
Absolutely. And Nico is banned here, taking that away from Tiger. He had some pretty good ults and engages, but they don't want to deal with it again. And the Camille ban, DBL playing completely reactionary with their bans here, just taking away the things that they thought worked. FTV changes up to a Lux ban as well, possibly afraid of a first pick Lux, which I actually don't think would be out of the realms of possibility.
No, definitely not. This is a very intriguing draft course. We actually have to see a lot of change now with the complete bot lane for FTV banned out, mid lane banned out for them as well. So 3 champs at least have to change. Rika could go for his Poppy this time. Rumble is still open as well. Rumble blind could be an option.
Rumble blind Rumble Blind's a little bit risky, and I don't think there's too much fear of it being picked away. I still think you want to pick up Poppy in the first stage of picks. You don't necessarily have to pick it up here, but I think Rika is just so good at the champion. Ooh.
Ooh.
It's a mage bot lane.
They have learned from Gum, definitely.
Yep.
Will this
Is
be
this
the
gonna be
second
a
time a Dinger
Morgana?
play in the game league?
See if it gets locked in. I wouldn't be too surprised. This makes sense.
Oh.
Boo. Boo FTV. Pick up Sejuani instead. And what do we think about this Morgana priority here?
It's a flex pick. They can flex them in 3 different roles, so I think they just want to see a little bit more from Dashing Buffaloes. Probably see the top lane, because I think if this Jace gets locked in, they go for another Rumble game. Everything else will be a Poppy game for Rika, so I actually don't mind this strategy. Especially with this Morgana, very probably going in Kuroko's hands, actually. I think this is one of the easiest mid laners to play. And
Yeah.
Kuroko, as the traditional jungler, might not have the biggest mid lane champion pool, so yeah, like this Morgana pick, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think one minor caveat to it is it's such a good ult to give Silas. It's a little
That's
bit
true.
dangerous. He can engage and use that Morgana ult to do a lot of damage, and Vel'Koz as well being hovered.
Oh, this is
Karma
Kuroko's
Sim-
champ. This
Yeah,
game Tiger will play mid lane and Kuroko will play bot. I'm calling it right now because Kuroko has already played 2 well-cost bot lane games and he looked very good on the first one.
I think that's very possible. And against a Karma Sivir, I feel like Vel'Koz is fairly safe. I think he'll be okay down in that bot lane, especially if that Morgana ends up going with him, potentially on B.
Yeah, against Sivir I think Vel'Koz will struggle a little bit. Probably be safe, that's absolutely true. But will struggle to wave clear and pressure out the Sivir, which is normally something Vel'Koz does against everyone, so... The Vel'Koz into Sivir is a little bit curious. I think they want to give Kuroko his best off-roll champ. Maybe he actually goes Vel'Koz mid lane. That's a possibility as well. I did not think about that. But look at the ults that Meliodas gets access to in this game.
Yeah, that Silas is doesn't even really need to think about who he's ulting at this point. Every ult is good.
Absolutely. I've never seen Silas copy a Vel'Koz ult, I have to say.
I have, I think, maybe once or twice in games. I have an account that I only play Silas on, so I've stolen a lot of ults. It looks pretty funny. Not gonna lie, but it is a good ult to steal.
I think Morgana is even better, as you alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
Morgana ult is very good on this champ.
Yeah. Because one thing to keep in mind is that you do get the passive, the research, when you steal a Vel'Koz ult. So you do get that little bit of true damage.
No, Rika, don't. Oh no. Oh no.
That's a huge mistake.
More Poppy is open. Just go for the Poppy. And oh my god.
You can just straight up deny Silas engages if you'd gone Poppy, but Instead, picks Rise, and
Instead, he will int on Rise. Nice.
this is very, very poor.
Wow,
Because
no! What is this
Cannon,
draft? Why would you pick Cannon here? What? Cannon into Morgana into Rise top? Excuse me?
I don't get it. This
It's
is
super strange.
This is a messy draft from both teams here. Corky is the final pick from DBL to round the comp out, going into that mid lane.
Going into that triple AP topside, which we love to see on the stream because it happens every game in the VCS. Man, what second phase pick and bench seems to be super hard for VCS teams. They mess up all their good foundations in the second half. What is that cannon pick? Just go 80 top. The
Nocturne.
what? What's going on?
This is Sejuani top?
Help me.
What is happening?
Okay.
Nocturne top?
No, they'll change. Kuroko Rice mid. That's interesting. Rika, no, you're not playing. No, Rika is playing the.
Rika, you
Sejuani.
can't play Nocturne.
I think Rika is playing Sejuani. Nocturne can't lane.
Rika can't play Nocturne.
Wait. Is this. If they win this game, they are geniuses. I cannot fathom
This
this
is
draft.
lane turn. What have they drafted?
Top lane Nocturne.
What happened? Like, seriously, someone needs to go backstage and just put the boot into the brain machine because it's it's broken.
Yeah, it's absolutely broken on both sides today. My God, wasn't this?
Nocturne in a lane
against Cannon. Let's
against
think about
Cannon.
that matchup. Is Nocturne fast enough to get on top of Cannon? I actually think this might be a good matchup for Nocturne if you think about it. Cannon needs his stun, and Nocturne can block one of the spells, so probably the Q. Then Cannon can't really max Q into Nocturne, because Nocturne can just deny all the damage. So Cannon needs to rely on his W, which is not what you want to do most of the time. That's interesting. This is a very intriguing matchup top. I actually think Nocturne might be able to chase down the Cannon top.
But
if he goes for something like lethal tempo and early phage or something.
Maybe? Doesn't he just get ganked though?
Nocturne is not too easy to gank in the lane, I think. You just ease one of the two targets away.
Yeah,
you can block the stun from Silas as well. I think he will struggle in the early laning phase just because he can't farm against the cannon. But
yeah,
if he actually gets to 10 minutes, this pick might
my head hurts. My head hurts. Yulwei, can I go home? I don't want to. Yeah. I say that sitting in my office. I don't. What is this?
This is strange.
We've got triple AP top side for DBL. We've got Nocturne top. I mean, oh my god. I mean, we're assuming it's top, right? Like, it's gotta be. It's not gonna be like crazy Rika flex mid or something.
I mean, they have two junglers and Rika has Nocturne. So no, he can't jungle. I think we saw Flash teleport.
Well, he didn't have Smite. He didn't have Smite. I think he maybe could go mid, but I don't think so.
Maybe they actually try to have a little bit of a double jungle going on and invade Silas early. Silas is very weak in the early 2-3 levels. We've already seen some Silases fall ridiculously far behind. So that might be another strategy coming in. I have actually no idea how this Nocturne will do. I think... He can farm with Q early on. Q is actually very annoying to deal with in lane.
Yeah. potentially.
Maybe an early gank as well. Imagine level 2 top lane gank from Nocturne Sejuani. Nocturne straight up flashes on the cannon, tethers him with the E, and then the cannon can't get far enough away. You get the stun from the two melee champs and the Sejuani to follow up. I actually see a lot of potential there. Let's go for level 2 top lane gank. Oh no.
He's in the mid lane.
Why?
Just want to put it out there.
Okay.
I saw this coming.
Videos. I have to tweet at videos after this game because he is the Nocturne main, the mid lane Nocturne main in the LEC. What?
Yep.
What's going on? Why is this a mid lane Nocturne now?
This is a mid lane Nocturne and the top lane Rise. What is going on?
I mean, okay. At least we don't have to see top lane Rise in the hands of Rika, which I absolutely hate. So now we get to see how his jungler does on this champ.
Yeah. I mean, look at the level 6 roams coming in from the mid laner.
What?
Can't complain. Nocturne. Also, I don't think I've ever seen a Silas steal a Nocturnal.
Oh, I have seen that.
That's going to be fun.
I
haven't.
Very
that
fun.
sounds
That's
like
very
it would be
fun.
very fun.
Everything is dark for both teams. No one moves because no one sees anything. It's dumb.
Yeah, that's going to be the lights will be out, to say the least. I do want to see how this mid lane works out. I feel like he's just going to get harassed all day by Corki.
Yeah, mid lane is actually easier to farm for Nocturne. I think Nocturne is definitely more a legitimate mid laner than a top laner, in my opinion. I think he'll be fine just farming with Q.
I think you're...
What is going on in the mid lane? Please show us mid lane.
Lethal tempo, apparently.
Yeah, that's the best one on
doing
Nocturne.
so much tempo. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You always go lethal. Doing... potentially enabling a huge amount of damage. I do think you sort of make the dictionary people sad when you say that Nocturne is legitimate in the mid lane. But he's certainly better in the mid lane than the top lane. I'll give you that much.
Yep. I mean, he is a jungler, right? We have to kind of make sense out of this draft, which is not easy.
Look at him go! He's just running in. He's just running it down. Oh, he's a little bit caught, but he uses that spell shield. He's safe.
This is a nightmarish experience for Null. Haha.
I didn't spot that at first. I was just going to agree. It absolutely is a nightmare. Nocturne living up to dead. The flash forward. Pallet gets caught here. Has to flash in return. So it's a flash for a flash on the supports here, and they try and go for the turn. A lot of damage there onto Tiger. Whoa! Big Koro. I don't know if that was ever going to happen.
Flash.
So 2 for 2 flashes. No flashes left in the bot lane here.
Flash? That was super surprising. That was a free flash from Tiger. Tiger had to flash there.
Yeah.
No. That was a very weird flash from Bikoro.
Absolutely.
You'll never get a kill out of that play against a pro player if he's not asleep. Strange.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting here. We do see this early mid lane is starting to slightly go in the favor of Corki, but it's only 2 CS.
Yeah, we saw the early trades.
Yeah.
Rika's doing fine. Is FTV just embracing the solo queue style, or is this a real strategy here? I'm not too sure.
I mean, do they play this in solo queue? Like, poor Vietnamese high elo.
I think Vietnamese solo queue is a mess anyway. They have 100% pick and ban rate on Yasuo, is what I heard. So,
I mean,
Vietnamese solo queue anyway.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure most solo queues have a really high Yasuo ban rate because he's just not fun to play against. I ban him like 80% of the time, not because I think he's OP. Like, I can beat Yasuo's, I just don't want to.
Really?
I'd just rather not deal with him. I hate playing.
I don't get to see a lot of Yasuo's anymore.
Yeah. I just don't like playing against Yasuo's. It's just not much fun.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I'd rather
super
not.
annoying.
I either ban him or Mordekaiser if I'm not playing Mord.
I actually don't mind playing Yasuo if he's not in my lane. I think playing against the Yasuo in the later stages of the game is most of the time pretty easy. But
Yeah.
I absolutely hate laning against Yasuo.
Yeah, exactly.
I
That's
can't
why
lane
I.
against that champion. I'm so scared.
That's why. Yeah.
There are two champs I absolutely hate to lane against. It's top lane Rengar, even though it's not strong, but
I play
it's
so much
freaking
top
me
lane.
out. It's so.
I play so much top lane
I
Rengar.
hate that one so much.
I had like about a month period where I played that basically every game. I either played
It
Rengar or
screws with
Yorick
my
because
heart rate.
they got the pretty kitty skins, and beating people up as Rengar and Yorick wearing bright pink pajamas was the most BM move I could think of. And was my favorite thing to do in this game, but we have to see how this works out now.
And that's another cosplay idea, no?
Very much slowed down. Yeah, maybe if we can't think of a way to do Gragas, I'll do one of the the pretty kitty skins. Speaking of which, everyone out there, Google the trailer for the new Cats movie. The weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll have to
it's
do that
just this
after the
trailer.
game.
Yeah, you should.
Oh wow, what's
terrific.
going on here? Finally back into the game.
As Rika goes in
what?
here, uses that ult. Paulette taking so much damage, just gets a kill. He just murders him.
Nocturne mid. Everyone, coming to a solo queue near you. What?
Yep.
What was that?
I'd like to officially
no
announce that I'm now. Yeah, I'd like to officially announce that I'm now a Nocturne mid one trick.
Let's go.
Because that was ridiculous. What was Paulette meant to do?
He was just dead. I think his cleanse probably was a few seconds away because it's now up. Did he not use the cleanse?
Would it have saved him?
I mean, you can cleanse the fear, right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know how much that would have done. I'd have to see a replay to see how long he was actually feared for before he was dead.
No, that's fair.
That
was
pretty ridiculous.
Very aggressive play from Rika and absolutely working out. He didn't even have to use his flash there. So we can see another very good play, maybe on Null this time. He's falling behind a little bit in CS, but that's to be expected. Melee against ranged.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. This is not a matchup he can really farm in. He just pushes in on Meliodas as well. This is very interesting. Ryzo could be in a little bit of trouble here. Here comes Mjolkon. Good flash, Ryzo.
We're out of sync a little bit.
Cleanse are we?
Cooldown? Yeah, thank you. I thought so, because that cleanse would have come in, I think, for Paulette to save him there. I think he was still dead. I'll stop at 8:15.
Yep, okay. 13, 14, and 15.
Okay. Sorry for that one again. Sadly, the Australian internet is once again failing us a little bit. We should be back in sync, and here our lovely play-by-play when the play actually happens and not as an after show.
Good news on that front. I got approved for an apartment today that has much better internet. So.
Yay! That sounds great.
Give me a couple of weeks, and then won't have much of an issue with that. So, but looking across the map, there's that massive CS deficit in the mid lane, but we were pretty much banking on that happening, and that has given DBL a bit of a gold lead here. But every other lane pretty much bang on even overall. Yeah. FTV holding this one pretty close.
Yeah, and early on you would have been fooled by Razor's build. It looks like he's going AD cannon, but this is obviously now the new standard AP cannon build with first item Hextech Gunblade to be strong on lane.
Yep, this is very much the... Yeah, and Kuriko's having a bad time. He's ahead in farm, but those trades are pretty brutal. There's not much he can do except AoE clear. But I think there might be a little visit to the top lane coming.
Dead.
Are the lights going to get turned out? I think they are. He might try and get a turn kill onto Kuriko here, and very nearly does. Gets the flash, but in the end goes down to Mjolkon here.
That was one
2 Nocturne ult, 2
there.
kills. Yeah.
Where did the damage come from? Wow, he almost got 2 kills there for himself. And Kurko, I think, overextended into the play, didn't have to blow his flash. I'm actually a
Yep.
little bit surprised no Rice is going for the new old Rice build with the longer scaling on the Rod of Ages. I think Rod of Ages is very strong on this patch. A
I
little bit
agree.
surprised we don't see the top lane Rises go for Rod of Ages, because I don't think he needs to really be strong right now. Rod of Ages would have been an option for him.
Absolutely. That said, I don't think this build is terrible by any
No.
means. He still scales super hard just because level 16
Yes.
rise is absolutely demonic. We're going to have to see, though, because I'm not sure. With this Nocturne pick, surely it falls off, right?
I mean, once QSS is coming, Nocturne loses a lot of his power. And usually you want to have your Nocturne paired with another dive buddy, and they don't really have a strong dive buddy. There was a very famous combination earlier in the history of League of Legends. Obviously, the Nocturne Shen diving
Yeah.
straight into the backline. This Nocturne
Yeah,
is
that's
alone, and
pretty
he's full assassin mode as well, so he'll just blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. A bit strange to talk about this Nocturne build because obviously every Nocturne we're used to has a jungle item. He has gone Tiamat into lethality. I don't think that's too surprising. Tiamat just to help with wave clear, as well as being an auto attack reset, which is always strong.
The paranoia
Oh,
is
the
there again.
contested
They
coming
might
in.
contest this one. This is a good call for
Yep,
FTV, in
there's the
my opinion.
paranoia. The lights are out, and they've thrown themselves
What
forward.
the
Big Koro
damage?
has to flash away, but Myokon just gets bound up for so long. But Kuriko ends up walking away the first kill. Tiger's on the other side, stopping any escape here for Rise. 2 kills for Rise. And Rika,
Oh wow, where
how
did he
did
come
he
from?
get there?
What?
He just picks up a kill and forces flashes. Where did he come from?
I have no idea, but it's 5-0 to FTV. And where did the Eye of the Herald go? I think DBL was able to pick that one up. Probably. So at least, yeah, it's on the cannon in the top lane. So at least a little bit of a consolation prize for them. But 5-0, 2-0 in the top lane and mid lane. Strong solo laners. Looking good in this game. FTV up to a great start against DBL.
This is a really nice engage here.
Yeah, I really
Straight
like this
in.
call.
Yep,
Rika,
exactly. That stopwatch doesn't end up doing anything for Null.
look at the position from Tiger. That's perfect as well on the eye, on the Vel'Koz. Look at Rika. Almost getting 2 kills there. I think the flash was a little bit preemptive. He should have preserved his flash. There was no real need to flash this early on. He was very greedy, looking for the kills, looking for 2-3 kills. But looking from it from hindsight, I think if he didn't use his flash there, I think he would have got one more kill, probably.
I mean, to be fair to him, he flashed forward and he was about 450 damage off from his passive getting a triple kill.
Yeah, that's why I'm not really criticizing him too much for that.
Yeah, exactly. It was super close. Absolutely ridiculous scenes here in the VCS. Are we gonna? We're seeing DBL down 2.5k gold in a game 2 where they lost game 1 against FTV.
Against
Truly,
the craziest FTV roster we've seen all season, by the way.
Yeah, truly, this is the dankest timeline.
Yeah, this is absolutely
if
crazy.
We see DBL lose to a Nocturne mid Rika.
That would be quite something. I think the cannon pick is still really hurting DBL. I did not agree with the cannon, and I don't really see what it's supposed to achieve in this game. It has fallen behind, so the only real play he has left is now TP flash ulting into the backline in a crucial team fight. Everything else, he will lose lane from now on out against the Rise more and more.
Yep. I mean, the other person to bring up here is what has Meliodas done? He's looked absent this game.
Yeah.
I can't think of really anything that this Silas has done. This should be a mid lane tower picked up pretty easily here with this Herald, which is nice for them. DBL does catch up a bit in the gold, only 1.2k now, down with that first brick.
Yeah, but it's still
But
a lot of
still,
standing gold for FTV. They have not even secured a single turret. Look at the damage. Gurkul hitting level 11, so...
Ooh, here comes Mukon, the flash forward and the bind. And this should be Rizo going down, but Kuriko will go down in response.
Such an unnecessary
Meliodas,
play. Nah.
yeah.
FTV, please, don't throw away your lead.
Oh, and here he comes. The rocket's in. Null will get feared up, giving Rika that speed boost, but he's bit off a little bit more than he can chew.
Yeah, we saw
And he
the
gets out
how Null was able to turn around the fight with a cleanse there. Fear duration is, I think, 2 seconds. And those 2 seconds with lethal tempo, there's a lot of DPS coming out of the Nocturne, so very crucial to have your cleanse available once the Nocturne jumps on top of you.
Very true. And one other thing that has changed since we last looked at it is down in the bottom lane, a CS lead has developed here for Big Koro. He is now about 20 CS up, 15 to be precise. Over this Vel'Koz from Tiger. So more gold slowly being crept back for DBL to make up for the 5 kill deficit.
Yeah, it's still heavily in the favor of FTB, I think, this game. They get the first turret for themselves as well, so extending the gold lead a little bit. Right now, I think overall the positioning from FTB is a little bit too defensive. They should look for plays. Maybe they wait for level 11 on Tiger for a stronger ultimate. But they give up this dragon pretty much for free, which I don't like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty dangerous time to engage there. I think they could have tried to do something, but they were against Corki with package.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is, I mean, if you're going to choose a time to fight a Corki, that's the absolute worst. And it's, I mean, an Ocean Drake, though, would have been so valuable for their team. Vel'Koz and Rise would both love that. And also, Rise has picked up, I think he's going Roa. He's just going it really late.
He's going...
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is
Abyssal
a
Mask,
coming in.
I always forget that builds out of Catalyst.
Yeah, it's still a little bit new to the game. Abyssal Mask really trying to exacerbate the problem for DBL in the top lane matchup, because there's nothing Cannon will ever do against Abyssal Mask Rise.
Yep.
So.
Oh my god, they've just pulled the trigger. I don't know about that one. Rika's so deep. I don't know if they needed this play. And here comes the Silas throwing himself in. Meliodas, though, I don't know if that was the right decision. As the Zhonya's does not do enough, the stopwatch, I should say. The Lifeform Disintegration Ray lives up to its name, does a lot of damage there. B takes a lot as well. Oh, flashes the wrong way. That's not how you flash away from the big one.
Yeah, Rika actually killing a support there. B was not in range for the big one, but Rika got caught. And the AoE damage explosion killed B there as well. Now Null on the chase.
Ooh, does a lot of damage. God, the Corki rockets hurt.
Corki's the strong champ.
Yeah, Corki's very strong. What an absolute mess down in there in the bot lane. It is a 1-for-1 in the end, but DBL, I think, was kind of lucky to even get one back.
Yeah, I think the communication from FTB showed a little bit of problems there. Rika went for another target. Meocon, yeah, we get to see this one again. Meocon focused on the Sivir, and Rika should have gone for the Sivir as well, I think. But Palette was able to flash away while Biko was stunned up, so they could have killed Biko here if Rika went on him. But yeah, a little bit of a communication lapse. Now look at how Rika kills the support.
Yep.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
A little bit of salt there out of B, I imagine. I mean, that's not something you can communicate just because it's so quick. But
it's not even on Rika, really. Rika can't really do anything to prevent that one from happening.
No, he really, really can't. We are going to have to see what... I mean, it's very difficult to call where does this FTV squad super power spike? Where do they fight around next? Like, how is their Baron take? Pretty good.
They have Rise.
I mean, Rise, yeah.
Rise is very good at Baron. But he's not full AP Rise, so it's not full 1000 damage crits on the Baron. At least not until he's level 16.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think Rika actually has a lot of Baron damage as well. If they get an uncontested Baron, so just get to freely hit the Baron, their Baron is actually not too bad, their Baron speed.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
But Rika will not commit
They
to
can
the
get
Baron
to the
if
fighter.
they are contested, I think. He'll look for a flank. Good flash from Tiger.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well done there. That was a dangerous engage with that stolen Sejuani ult. Um,
Yeah, looking at team fights, the later the game goes, obviously
yeah.
DBL has two of the strongest ADCs in the game. When it comes to late game team fighting, we have Corki hitting his power spikes already with one crit item secured for him. So the next one will be IE. Once the IE is finished, he can 1v5 the team fights pretty much. And
Pretty
then we have
much.
Sivir building the best possible Sivir build as well. So this is a strong backline for FTV. That being said, and not FTV, DBL, I'm sorry. That being said, on FTV side, their front line is looking super strong, and their dive threat, followed up by Tiger's ult and control with the Super Sucker build, not looking too weak either. So I think DPS wise, definitely in favor of DBL, but FTV could win with teamfight control and zoning.
Yeah, I do think so. I think it comes a lot down to execution out of FTV.
Yeah,
I think it's very easy to play DBL's comp in a team fight, especially for Norl and Big Coro. They just have to right click the right people. While for FTV, it's much more difficult. This dragon's huge, by the way. This is the first mountain drake that we've seen spawn, and it favors timing wise. It favors FTV, and this is big for their Baron take.
yeah, FTV will profit a lot from this dragon, as you said. I think DBL
Yeah,
wanted this dragon really bad as well, because they want their Baron to be accelerated as well. Two ADCs, so their Baron is already quite good. They don't really need the Mountain Drake to take Baron or have Baron control, but giving up the Mountain Drake is a little bit dangerous, especially considering in the first game they gave up a pretty free
Ooh,
Baron.
Tiger gets engaged on here. That the paranoia comes out in response. Can they trade onto Big Coro? They can, but Rika goes down as well. Myokon in a lot of trouble. Has to use that flash. I don't know if it'll be enough. Nor flashes forward. Bold play there. It doesn't actually get him anything in the end, but 2-for-1 favoring DBL.
Yeah, a little bit of an over-aggressive commitment there from Rika. Flash not available to get out of there, so he just completely gave his life away. Suicide mission there to go in.
Yeah,
They got one kill on Bikoro, which will probably throw out the Baron. So
almost
that's
certainly.
not the worst thing to happen for FTV. But now the gold is back to even. FTV really needs to win this game in the next 5-6 minutes, or it will swing more and more in DBL's favor.
Yeah, that it will. I think it is. I mean, Rika throwing himself forward was the only reason they got any kill back. Tiger was just caught out by the package here.
Yeah, they invested earlier resources to get his flash, so now they can freely capitalize, and they know he's not sitting on a flash. Very easy kill on Tiger. So they had the option to either invest Rika to look for a kill and risk Miocon going down, which would have meant a sure Baron, or they could have backed
Yeah.
off, which is 4v5 on the map with all the enemies on full HP and double ADC to take the Baron. That's risky as well, so I don't really think their call was bad to reinvest Rika to look for the kill, but it was very risky. If Miocon went
Yeah,
down there, that would have been game ending.
it also would have been an absolute disaster if Big Coro hadn't gone down, which was fairly close. Ooh, Rika has to flash away and burn his stopwatch here, and he's
What?
still in trouble. Rizo could look for this, just couldn't kill him.
Was that stopwatch necessary?
I think he was just scared of the tower. I don't
Yeah.
think it was necessary.
Not too sure. I think stopwatch was a little bit of an overkill there to get out. But
I
Rika
agree.
already showing why we don't see too much Nocturne mid. He's falling off.
Yep.
Not even
Very
able to
hard.
kill the very weak cannon under turret. And Kuroko.
Ooh, Kuriko in a lot of trouble here, but the TP has come in.
Damn
He might
it.
be all right. Realm Warp used as well. They could go forward. Actually, that was a Silas Realm Warp. I'm telling a lie. But Ooh, down goes Paulette. B here gets a little bit collapsed on, but he's okay for now. The Soul Shackles are running. Rizo has been thoroughly researched. Myokon as well, getting away on single-digit health. Kuriko cleans up Big Koro. Meliodas is in a lot of trouble as well. This is FTV picking up 4 kills. This is terrible here for Buffalo. This is Baron.
Wait, who is Kuriko? Why is he so good on the Rise? What was that? That was insane, well executed Rise damage. Wow, Kuriko is really impressing me on the Rise. It looked like he was just caught out, but he actually turned it around and dealt so much teamfight AoE damage. And now Baron for FTV. Back in their control and almost a 4k gold lead. So look at Kuriko's damage here. He gets caught, he flashes away, so now it's an overcommitment for DBL to chase, but Fallette already down to 200 HP just off Rise damage. Null off of Rise AoE down to 1000, roughly. And all the control from Tiger coming in handy as well, with a lot of slow fields. Null couldn't re-engage. Tiger gets the first kill. Meliodas caught.
Yep, overall very, very well played there out of Kuriko and the rest of FTV. Yeah, now we need to see them
level 15.
Baron. Yep.
We might see another level 16 Rise, and we have not really seen a level 16 Rise absolutely carry teamfight. We might see that in this game. Rise is actually getting buffed for the next patch, so we might see way more Rise in the VCS. VCS is one of the few regions that is already playing this one after the rework.
Yeah. Yep, precisely. They do love him here in the VCS, and it looks like the bot lane will be the target of this Baron push as Silas throws himself in with the stolen paranoia. Rika gets a taste of his own medicine, and a bit of a race starting.
Wait, this is weird.
Is this a straight base race?
Oh, DBL has the better position, but there's Baron on FTV.
Yeah,
5 members from DBL. Wait, wow, they are way slower.
Yeah. This has gone all wrong for FTV. They lose it in him. What a dominant call by DBL.
Yeah, reading the map, super great there from DBL. I have no idea what Rico was doing around the mid lane. No real reason. I think he wanted to push out the wave with his Baron buff, apply more pressure. In the end, he gets caught, and his team loses an inhibitor with the Baron buff still active. This is risky, though, for DBL now. Wow, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep. Potentially could be caught in the pit here. Paulette gets stuck up. That lifeform disintegration rate doing so much damage. Rizo taking a lot of hurt as well. The Super Soaker doing so much control out of Tiger. Letting the Rise just do so much damage. Triple kill for Kuriko. This is bad.
Wait, they have another minion wave, and the Baron buff is not active anymore. That might... Oh, wait, the Baron buff is still active.
Still active. Yeah, no, it's still active. They've got some time on it.
There was 1,039 damage crit.
Yep, 40 seconds on Baron. In him falling.
20 seconds on Bikoro.
You're gonna have
this
to see.
Is super risky.
There's the Silas copied ult to clear out the wave. I think they just backed off.
Goofy as I thought it would look. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's one inhibitor back. So in the end, the play from DBL does not really pay off, especially because the bot lane inhibitor is so much more important for Baron control.
Absolutely.
And are we in for another chase? No.
No. They do just disengage. Walk on home. It's 1 inhib each, as you said.
But now it's a 6,000 gold lead, and this Rise is super scary. Who's actually going to kill this Rise? Look at this. Razor gets stunned on the Rise, but no one actually gets close to killing him. Razor is completely useless. Just goes down to a little bit of AoE damage. What was Piccolo doing there?
It's a good question. I mean, you ask a very good question. Who kills Rise? It's very difficult to. It's going to be very difficult to lock him up because he's got a Morgana on his team. That Black Shield can come down. Tiger can do so much disruption and slows and everything. As well as Rika, he might not be able to kill the back line at this point because he has fallen off a bit on the Nocturne, but he can definitely buy enough time that Kuriko can just carry fights.
Yeah, Big Kuro really is the only one dealing damage to Kuroko. Looking at the item builds, yeah, it's triple AP topside, and he has around 120 MR, 130 MR, so and no penetration coming in for either of the three AP threats, so they are not really dealing damage to him. So
Exactly.
they really need Big Kuro to auto attack the Rise, which is super scary. And there's a Nocturne.
Yeah, exactly. This is that potential where we finally do see a level 16 Rise just absolutely hard carry. Oh, Nor could be in a lot of trouble here. Instant cleanse, but now he's got Rika coming in on top of him. Can he finish him off? He can. It's a 1-for-1, but that's a 1-for-1 you take if you're a Nocturne. Killing the enemy
Absolutely.
Corki for yourself, you take that every day of the week. And
It's
this
very
should
true.
be
And
FTV able to
Neocon
push
has
very
this
hard.
the Varmok.
Oh, the
So
flash forward.
whoa, what's going on? Kuroko, don't.
Don't lose your mind, Kuroko.
Yeah, there's no need to do that. Flash wasted now on the Rise. Most of the time an aggressive tool anyway in this game, because there's not enough threat to kill him, so he doesn't really have to save the Flash for defensive purposes. But I'd much rather see him use the Flash aggressively on Bikoro to lock down the kill or Null than on Palette, not succeeding, not even drawing a single summoner from Palette, so a little bit of an over-hyphy play from Kuroko.
Okay. Interesting there, just kind of idling in the river.
He's just dancing around, waiting for his parent friend to spawn.
Yeah, wants to see his friend.
Up a trap.
Yeah, just clears out some vision as well. Looked a bit strange, but in the end, it's a play that works out. Baron will die so ridiculously fast this time.
Yeah,
this time they have a mouse. Rise, exactly. And here comes the paranoia. I don't know if he'll pull the trigger on this one. Oh, he does in the end. Onto Meliodas. Down he goes to Tiger, as well as Rizo going down as well. All they've got is Rika's GA. The Realm Warp is used as well. B flashes forward, hits Null with the binding. Now Kuroko has potential to just absolutely clean up. But there are kills answered back, but it doesn't matter. The quadra kill is picked up here for Rise. This is
the end of the game.
FTV beats DBL 2-0.
What's going on? Loki lost yesterday to QG, and now FTV is beating DBL 2-0 with Kuroko in the mid lane.
With Rika Nocturne mid.
What?
Nocturne mid is 100% win rate.
And on Rika of all people. Wait. Has this just really happened? What?
Did I get hit by a car and I'm in a coma?
I see. What? FTV just straight out outperformed DBL in 2 games straight, and especially Kuroko looking super good on this Rise in the second game. Kuroko can play everything apparently. He has played Vel'Koz, has won with Vel'Koz board. He has played mid lane Camille, got carried a little bit in the last game, and now absolutely carried the next game with a quadra kill in the last team fight, and I think double-digit kills in the end on the Rise. What is this player? Where does he come from? Why is he a jungler? He should not be a jungler.
This is
mind-boggling.
What did we just watch? This is one of the most ridiculous series we've seen so far, and we've seen some pretty crazy things.
Yeah, and we thought we would see a little bit of a 2-0 blowout series, and I mean,
yeah, we did.
We kind of thought. Not the way we would expect it, but the third upset in a row this week. For some reason, all the top teams are failing us. And if the trend continues, we'll get to see a 2-0 from Cerberus later on today. Against EBOS, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, apparently the second half of this round robin is just flip on the head, right?
We're still on the first half. This is the last series from the first half of the round robin. Rika gets interviewed. He has to be super happy with his performance and his team's performance. What an absolute crack.
Absolute banger of a game. Just absurd. Rika had a really, really good game on that Nocturne. Even after he fell off, he was still just running enough diversion by diving forward
Yep.
that Kuriko was able just to absolutely
Take
just
over.
dominating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rika, you should never play top lane Ryze again. Just give it to Kuroko and play whatever in
Yep.
another position. It seems to not matter for FTV. Just play everyone anywhere and yeah, win, apparently.
Yep. Whoa, just absolutely absurd. Does FTV? Can FTV do that kind of thing again? Is the question. We'll have to see going forward.
Yeah, let's look at the schedule. Which team are they playing this week? Who has to be
EVOS.
scared of the mid lane Nocturne?
I think it's EVOS.
Yeah, it's EVOS tomorrow. So if EVOS loses today in the next series, they might actually fall down to last place if they will lose tomorrow as well against FTV. So EVOS needs
Potentially.
to step up in the next series and show Cerberus their place. Still very good for FTV. This week might really propel them into the middle of the standings. If they go 2-0 in this week, they might avoid relegation this time. So, very good start. It's still a very long road. It's their first serious victory. But you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like when you're in the position that they're in, I guess you do just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And that was a pretty sticky. That was sticky.
It was very sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think MVP does not need to get discussed after this game. Kuroko
Oh,
had an
correct.
amazing performance. One of the hardest carry performance we have seen all year so far in the VCS, I think. And on an off roll, with a champ he has never played in the VCS before, I'm very, very impressed. Top lane
Yeah,
Rise, showing he's
so
definitely able to still carry games.
yep, absolutely. Just crazy overall performance on that Rise. FTV getting their first series win over DBL of all teams.
Yeah, and DBL falling to 5-2 will not sit in sole position of the first place. So they've won against both the other 5-2 teams, Flash and Loki. So they are probably still listed as the first. But their game score is actually not that great now. Falling 0-2 to FTV will hurt their game score a lot. So if it comes to a situation where game score decides on the playoff um, ranking,
Yeah,
then this series might bite them in the back later on the season.
yeah, I totally agree. This is not a loss you want. This should DBL absolutely should have been taking this one. They're going to be worried because I don't know if we're going to see other top teams lose to FTV. So it's potentially just a free one win gap for the rest of the top teams potentially, but
Yeah. And Kuriko obviously gets the MVP 12, 1 and 3, damage percent 30.9, which means 30%, almost 31% of the damage his team dealt in this game came from him, which is a lot. He got a
yeah,
quadra kill as well. Sadly, no pentakill to really uh, make this game unforgettable, but it's still a very good performance and a very memorable moment for him.
yeah, I absolutely agree. Excellent performance on this Rise. Just
Yeah, we'll now hit around an hour of a pause and then come back with Cerberus against EVOS, a very important series for both teams. Cerberus sitting on one victory in terms of series. They won against FTV. Those are still the only two games that they won all season. And EVOS on a very bad downward trajectory. Looked super weak in week 3, so they need to get back up.
yep, that they do. It should be I mean, if it goes by the trend of these games, we could be Cerberus picking up a win, but we definitely don't expect that.
Yeah, and many questions coming into the next series, especially concerning EVOS's roster. Who will be the support this time? Who will be the top laner? Many question marks for EVOS, and Cerberus is just a real big question mark as a team. Not even considering any kind of roster swaps. They are just not great as a team. So
it's true. Very, very true. But we're going to have to see what they can do in about just under an hour.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us, and see you in an hour for Cerberus against EVOS.